Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Mike Beer. Race number 7 at Churchill Downs on Saturday is the Grade 2 Fleur de Lis Handicap. This is a win and you're in for the Breeders' Cup Distaff. Let's take a look at this field. They're going to go 1 mile and an eighth. We have a field of 9. Farrell on the far outside is the 3-1 morning line favorite. But Mike, let's begin with the number 2 Mopetism coming in from Southern California for trainer Doug O'Neill. And if you just go all the way back to the Alabama, just take a look at the horses she's been in against, whether it's Elate or It Tis Well or Abel Tasman or Forever Unbridled or Unique Bella or Fault. She has been in very, very tough. You can make the argument that she's getting a little bit of class relief in this spot. 8-1's a really solid price, and you can throw out her last race. She doesn't like turf.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, she's the kind of new face I think you want in a race like this, because she's facing, these are still good horses, but they're nothing like the horses she's been running against. I think it's a much better spot for her, and I think she fits this race well in a lot of different ways. She classes up very well. There's going to be a lot of pace for her to run at in this race. There are a lot of ways to like her and a lot of ways to feel like 8-1. It's a tremendous amount of value on her in this race.
You mentioned the pace in this race. Let's throw up the Timeform US pace projector. I agree. I'm not sure we're going to get the 8 on Mopetism, and Timeform US agrees with your assessment on this pace that it should be fast. You see the number 9 Farrell, the pace setter recently in the Grade 1 La Troyenne, expected to get to the front with Apology Not Accepted, the number 8. Let's begin with Farrell, again the morning line favorite. That's always seemed to do well at Churchill Downs. In the La Troyenne, she was ridden really well by Channing Hill, just getting out to a nice, easy lead. She slowed the pace down over a track that seemed to favor speed, and she almost held on. I just thought with that scenario, she's supposed to win. I don't really love her at this additional distance, and I don't like this fast pace.
Yeah, I agree with all that stuff. I mean, I feel like the Grade 1s are going to be really tough for her to win. That was a good spot for her to get one with that trip that she had, and she just couldn't quite get it done. I thought she ran fine in that race, but considering how soft she got away on the lead in that race, that would have been a good spot for her to come through. You know, mile and an eighth doesn't thrill me with her, especially in a race with other speed in here. I think she's going to have to work hard, and I really feel like she probably wants to go a little bit shorter. I can't take her as the favorite.
The other speed is Apology Not Accepted, the number 8 for Brendan Walsh and Julian Leperoux. I thought she ran really well last time out in the Grade 3 Double Dog Dare. There seemed to be an honest pace going on there, and she was really the only part of the pace still hanging around at the wire. My issue is she was then a vet scratch on May the 19th, and here she finds a spot with other pace.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to work against her this time. I mean, she did run fine last time. I still feel like it's kind of the best that she can do. I mean, when you start going through her races one after another, she ran the big figure in her career debut sprinting, where she won by 16. That's the fastest race she's ever run still to this day, and she's 7 years old. I don't know. I mean, I think she's a little bit dangerous because she did run well last time, but with Farrell right to her outside and some other good horses in here who are going to be closing, I just think it's a tough ask for her.
Song of Spring is one of those closers. She is the number 5, and she took advantage of a good solid pace and a wet track last time out in the DuPont Distaff at Pimlico, rallying from last to first to beat a couple of these horses. She has been much improved in her recent starts, but boy, that Best Buyer speed figure did come over the wet going.
It did, but she, you know, she's clearly in the best form of her life right now. The last 3 races that she's run, they're the best races that she's ever run in her career. So I feel like she's just headed the right way. I thought she took advantage a little bit last time because the pace was there for her. But you know what? She was really wide in that race around the second turn. She finished very gamely to get up. It was another step in the right direction for her. I won't be surprised if she runs well again, and this race is going to set up for her again.
She's in great form. Conversely, Streamline, a real honest mare, might not be in her very best form. She is a multiple graded stakes winner, and maybe the pace situation and track were against her in the La Troyenne last time out. She made a run at Unique Bella in the Apple Blossom before being turned away, and I guess we shouldn't hold that race against her too much. But the Azeri 3-back was a disappointing effort, and her big win this year came in such slow time.
I know.
I just wonder if this version of Streamline can take down this field.
It does feel like she's lost a step in her recent races. I think this race will, she can get a good trip in this race. I think that works for her, but she needs to run of her better races to win.
Rusty Arnold's barn has just been on absolute fire over the last month or so, and he's gotten this awestruck good. Now, she's got a big pedigree. We figured she would eventually figure the game out. Her last 2 races, just blowout wins, one at Churchill Downs. Are you worried about this distance? When you look at this pedigree, she should get it.
She should get it. We'll find out if she can here. At least they're trying it. It feels like at the right time, because it does seem like since she's come back this year as a 4-year-old, she's really taken the step forward. I mean, she blew that field away last time around the one-turn mile. They paid a lot of money for her. As you were saying, she has a nice pedigree. You sort of felt like it would happen for her eventually. It feels like it's starting to happen for her.
Furiously Kissed is also cross-entered in the Obeah at Delaware on Saturday. That would obviously be a much easier spot here, but this barn's done a really nice job. They claimed her for 62.5. They've gotten a couple of graded stakes placings into her, but while Song of Spring took the wide route, and she was wide all the way through the turn and into the stretch, Furiously Kissed and Javier got a really nice trip, saving ground, pretty much altering course back down towards the inside late, and she picked up a couple of pieces late. I wonder if that's the best she can do, and I'm not sure that's good enough to beat this kind of field.
Right, and she likes wet tracks too. She's caught wet tracks in her last 2 races. You know, it was a pretty good claim for these guys. They got her grade 1 placing out of her first time out off the claim. And she's finished 3rd in 2 graded stakes races, but she never looked like she was going to win either one of those races. This is a little bit of an easier spot for her, but it's not that much easier.
Let's take a look at our top selections for the Grade 2 Fleur de Lis Handicap. You're going to go with the number 7, Valadorna. You've been a big fan of this filly for a while. She was 2nd in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies a while back in 2016, and it just looks like Mark Casse has gotten her good. She's won 3 out of her last 4 races, and I'm not going to hold that Houston's Ladies Classic against her. Kind of a funky racetrack, and the way that race unfolded, you wanted to be coming from out of it, and she was pressing the pace. Did you think she took advantage of the fast pace last time out of the Double Dog Dare, or was she simply much the best?
I mean, I think maybe it was a little bit, but I don't want to say she was much the best because she didn't win it that easily. And the pace was there for her. But on the other hand, they just rode her with a lot of confidence there. I mean, they settled her off the pace. They kept her basically in a 4-wide trip the entire way to make sure nobody got in front of her. And then she closed it down at the end. It was a good performance from her. And she just feels like one of those fillies, you know, unfortunately for her, she missed a lot of time. She started off her 3-year-old season like she was going to be okay, and she missed a bunch of time. She came back last November, and she sort of picked up where she had left off. I think she's still headed the right way. I liked her win last time. I think this race sets up well for her. Again, I'm just going to take her right back.
I like Blue Prize at this distance. I think a mile and an eighth is very good for her. This is the course and distance of her victory in the Grade 2 Falls City Handicap last fall, and she grinded it out at 9 furlongs over. Perhaps a distance challenged frost-wise in the top flight 2 starts back. Last time out in the DuPont, again, she was the only part of the pace that was still swinging at the end. She opened up such a big lead in the stretch that I think you have to be a little bit disappointed that she blew the lead. Did you get the feeling that she started playing around when she made the front?
I think she started drifting in the stretch. I don't know if I don't want to say she was playing around. Maybe she was getting a little bit tired. I mean, as you point out, that pace was solid. She was right up there on it the entire way. The horse she was contesting it with was Verve's Tail. Not that she's any kind of a superstar, but she was a short price. Now I think she finished 5th or something. She was well behind this horse at the end. This horse ran well. The distance works really well for her. She likes Churchill Downs. I don't think she's going to be up there contesting the pace this time. I think they'll settle her off at this time. She gets a better trip. She's a very dangerous horse.
Mike's going to go with Valadorna, 7, 2, 6, and 3, and I'll go with Blue Prize, 3, 2, 9, and 5 in the Grade 2 Fleur de Lis Handicap. A win and you're in for the Breeders' Cup Distaff, and it has an approximate post time of 9:05 Eastern on Saturday evening. Good luck.